Hello there and welcome to Chitta Diaries. Oop, let me adjust the light. See if we can make it slightly brighter. Alrighty. So I am doing a chit chat, get ready with me. I see multiple people doing these on the internet. It's been like a thing for a while. But I am someone who honestly doesn't know how to do their makeup. Like I wish I could, but I can't. And I will legit just wing it. It will probably take me... Why is this broken? Did this drop? I haven't used this in a while. This is so weird, but anyways, I'm trying to apply some primer. Oh my goodness. Oh well, it's what I have. I won't necessarily indicate, okay. I've just taken it out. But yeah. I won't necessarily mention what I'm using because like I said, I do not know how to do makeup. I just powder here and there. But yeah, primer on. So today is the 7th. My birthday was yesterday and I honestly spent the entire day just bumming at home. I was literally in my pajamas. Okay. To be real, I was in a t-shirt and yeah, let's just call it pajama bottoms the entire day, and my bonnet. And at some point, like, I did video call my family and my mom saw me and she was just like, why do you look like that on your birthday? You need to clean yourself up and take some cute pictures. And I was like, okay, I will. But this was like around 16 hours or 4 p.m. And then I began to do my wash day. Like, it was just a mess. It was a day of bumming. And I had absolutely no motivation to do anything else. Like, I was happy and celebrating on the inside, but my body just said no. It said, no, Ona, we are going to sleep in today. Which was very odd. Like, if people, people who know me were quite surprised because I am the queen of birthday celebrations. I'm extremely extra. And last year, I didn't celebrate my birthday because I was very sad. I had, okay, not I, like, you know, myself, but my family had experienced loss. A close family member passed away and it was like way too soon. And it was very sudden. Very, like it literally came out of nowhere. And March came along. It was my birthday. I honestly could not celebrate it. Like, for the first time, I think, in my life, I was just like, I need to take a breather. Woo! Okay, I really haven't been using these products. And I just felt very, very sad, lots of despair. And if you're Zambian, like most of us, okay, like the typical Zambian household, like you aren't just raised, you know, in a nuclear family. You have lived with an aunt or like one of your parents' siblings, or even just cousins. It's not always, you know, a scenario or a case where it's you, your parents, and your siblings. So that's how it was. She was a very close family member, and
Hello. It's been quite some time since I filmed this. It's been actually over 2 months. Like, I'm in the second week of May, and the time I had recorded this footage, I think I had mentioned the day of my birthday. My birthday was March 6th, this was March 7th, and I had filmed, not really filmed, but I had recorded a voiceover. I remember finishing that, went about my day, and then the next day I was like, okay, fine, let me try and edit this. Tried to do a voiceover, and I cried, and I was like, no, like, like let me scratch this. My emotions are all over the place. Tried a couple of days like later again, and it was just the same thing. And I kind of just, like left it alone, went about my life. A whole bunch of other stuff went down, just personal, just like a lot in general was going on. And I just took a break, you know, and I thought about it. I was like, you know what, should I just forget this whole video? Like, what was the point? Like, why did I even want to film it? I mean, to be fair, or rather to be honest, when I filmed this, I was literally just doing like a face beat for my birthday. I was very chill. I was really happy. I thought I was in a good place. And then I just wanted to talk about, where I had been a year before and what my mental state was on I believe that was my 28th birthday back in 2020, and how I didn't even celebrate because I was distraught to say the least. And I thought, this year when I was celebrating, I was in a better place, and I thought I could share, my experience and how I had moved from that space to the space I was at. But then talking about it, during those multiple attempts of trying to record a voiceover, didn't work out. It opened up a whole bunch of things that bottled up or just tried to suppress, and it wasn't too coherent, and I didn't feel was really helpful. It was more like anguish, and I was just like, this isn't the point that I wanted to make. And even though it's like it's gone left and it's gone this route, I feel like I need to be calmer and really think this through. And like I said, like I wanted to just scratch this whole video, but then I was like, you know what? The reason why, I tried to do a VN multiple times is that I had an experience where I was dealing with loss, and it wasn't the first time. And I know what it's like to be in that place. It's everyone, you know, experiences uh, pain and loss differently, and some have support. There are people who are there for them. It's an amazing feeling to just, you know, have people who can be there for you. I am really, really grateful that I had a good balance from both my family and my amazing friends. But then I also know what it's like, some like it's of course everybody can do what they can. I have had friends and family lose people in their lives, and there's only so much that people can do. Like when you're alone sometimes, you just get overwhelmed. And for some people, it could be a case where there's no support at all. People may not be too empathetic or understand too well. And I wanted to make this video because sometimes you might be so overwhelmed. You may not really have anybody to talk to or anybody who understands. And during those times when you feel like you're alone and everything, I just wanted to send a virtual hug. I honestly wanted to send a virtual hug. And I also wanted to say that hopefully me speaking over myself, putting on a face of makeup, doesn't translate as being insensitive of a topic that's as serious as this. Honestly, truly, I just thought, I could be as transparent or as open, as possible. When I filmed this initially, like I said, I was honestly just trying to beat my face. I wasn't even doing the most. I think I'd mentioned at some point that I didn't even know how to do makeup that well. My blending skills are awful, but I didn't want to spend another year on my birthday. And I know like some people don't even celebrate birthdays, but if your birthday is as big of a deal to you as it was to me, years prior to that, I was glad that I was able to just, pick myself up, do something, even though it was a temporary task or, something that I did. I cheered myself up even when I felt really, really low, went into autopilot. In fact, while I was doing that face beat, and the reason why I stopped talking is because I sensed that I was about to open floodgates and I wasn't prepared for that. So I kind of just switched off, went into autopilot, and just tried to completely just, I don't know, put myself in a, yeah, it was basically like autopilot. You just put some makeup on your face, take some nice pictures. And like I'd mentioned, like I remember my mom innocently saying, like, no, like just get up. Like, why are you like, in your bonnet and a hoodie? Like, just do something, look nice, take some pictures, celebrate your birthday. And I'm so glad I did. Even though it was, yeah, like I said, it was for a short period of time. I'm really glad I was able to take photos after, um, sitting down and actually thinking about everything that had happened last year and how I'd gotten to a place where I felt better, but hadn't fully processed what had happened. It pushed me into a place that wasn't too comfortable. Of course, I cried some more, but ultimately, I'm glad that I was able to do something to just push me, into a place. Even after I, did my makeup, I put on some Roomba music, just, danced, whatnot, and just hyped myself because I was now in a space where I I wanted and was able to, um, to be positive and to be hopeful because that isn't always the case. There's phases, some last a really, really long time. There's really dark places that we go to, and I know what it's like. I honestly know what it's like. So I also don't want to push anybody or just emphasize and say, no, 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 like you have to get over it. No, like that isn't the case. I know in the beginning, last year on my birthday, I didn't even celebrate it because it was too soon for me. So just to give some background, um, I'm not sure if I had mentioned at this point in that video because it's been so long, but my family had experienced the loss of a loved one. So my aunt, my dad's sister passed away in January of 2020, and it was a short illness. She was in her mid 40s. She had been relatively healthy, bubbly, everything, and then all of a sudden, within like a short period of time, it was literally a couple of days, we lost her and a family, and it was really, really, really hard for us and everybody. And one of the things that I wanted to, just talk about was uh, the importance of the relationships that we have around us. I had some hurtful experiences, during the funeral and even after, and it opened up my mind to how there 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 could have been scenarios in the past where I could have maybe told somebody else what some people told me, or just thought, the way people generally tend to think with regards to relationships. Uh, well, I will speak for the Zambian setup because I'm Zambian, born and raised. Yeah, in case you aren't familiar with that, in the typical African setup, I'm not saying everybody, but in the typical African setup, a good number of us haven't really grown up exclusively with just our siblings or our parents. We have really, really strong bonds. Could be with cousins, aunts, uncles, grannies, grandparents. We have strong bonds with people who just aren't part of our nuclear family. Of course, I'm not going to discount the relationship that you may have with a sibling or a parent, a spouse or a child. Those are amazing and beautiful bonds, honestly, truly. And I, of course, will not undermine what it's like to have a child, raise a child. And this is just from um, a wholesome point of view. I'm talking just a standard loving, caring relationship between a parent or a child or siblings and everything. Of course, that is an amazing bond. It is a very, very, deep bond. And if you had to lose someone as close as that, I know it is very, very painful, very, very painful. But in the world that we live in, it's very, very complex. And the older that you get, or where I've gotten in my life, even just dealing with loss aside, even just the current relationships that I've had, I am someone who genuinely values everybody around me. Of course, it could be I have I consider myself, well, not really consider myself, but I'm extremely grateful, to still have both my parents in my life. I have amazing siblings, and I also have amazing friends. I have nieces and nephews. Honestly, truly, I love them, and I love the other people in my life because so many people have made me who I am. It's a whole experience, and I I almost heard this like too many times than I would have wanted to. In fact, even just once was extremely hurtful. But people would ask, out of curiosity or just, just genuine concern, but they didn't realize that what they were saying was, as deeply hurtful as it was. That people would, would ask, oh, my condolences and the like. And then people would ask, oh, was your aunt married? Did she have kids at the time of her death? And at the time of her death, the answer to both was no. And some people, you know, just ever so casually would pass comments or just state, something as basic as, oh, at least, or, it's better that way. And I heard this so many times, and it really, 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 really broke my heart because I wondered whether if first I have ever been as insensitive as, some people were unknowingly being, in this situation. And then two, like it really, really, really just hurt my feelings, and it's something that, really bothered me. And even months afterwards, as I was, just dealing with really, really missing my aunt and everything, it just made me think, and it kind of upset me because I didn't even know how to express myself in that situation, or what to say, because people just, we we just have this mentality of how um you need to have a husband and kids, and that's just it. Like the I actually felt that they were almost implying that um there's not necessarily people who really, really, really miss, you know, our loved one, which was extremely, extremely hurtful. And I think some of us, if you are listening to this right now, I'm sure you know people. And like I said, getting married for a lot of people is a beautiful thing. Having children, a beautiful thing. But for some people who may not, have the opportunity to do so, it could be voluntarily or involuntarily, still live extremely full lives. They touch the lives of so many people, so many people. And for my relationship with my aunt, I would honestly just like to honor her in this video. I know it's, you know, completely random. I apologize, but in my heart of hearts, I honestly and truly appreciate the woman that she was to me. We were very, very close. I literally grew up in the same home with her. My birthday is 6 March. Hers is March 12th. And I don't know if some of you can relate to this, but sometimes, like, okay, at least in my household, like if you have the same birthday, so if you have the same birthday month, like you're sharing a cake, and especially if it's like a couple of days in between, like you're sharing a cake. This is somebody like I literally shared my birthday cake, quite a bit throughout my childhood. Like she was there in our home. And not only that, she was so loving and so caring. And my siblings and I and my first cousins, I feel like the love and care that she had to us, like we were basically her kids. Like we're literally basically like her kids, and she loved us like her kids. And it was such a strong bond. And quite all right. I know people who are close to me who had also had the privilege of knowing her, and they understood what I was going through, and I am so grateful. my friends who were there for me and my family during all of that. But sometimes, and I hope anybody who's listening to this can just, take a moment and think about it. And for me, it was my aunt. I absolutely was so glad that I was able to know her and just have the privilege of, of having been her niece. It was an amazing time, and I'm so glad I had the privilege of knowing her. And there's just so many people out there. It could be a cousin, a friend. There's so many relationships, you guys, outside of, you know, the most uh, profound that society looks at, which, like I said, honestly honor those relationships as well. But the other, it's it's it, it's okay to acknowledge, and I'd also encourage everybody to honestly and truly, just value the relationships around them. And I know sometimes there's a lot of pressure for some people to uh, want a spouse, which like I said is an amazing thing. If you're hoping for that, you really want to have that bond and that experience, that's wonderful, and I hope you get to have that. But in the meantime, if you aren't there yet, and like, I honestly hope and pray that you may not have, just this tunnel vision for that, where you think it's the end all and be all and just place all this value on one person. They're amazing. Like, once you get there and everything, it's amazing. But in the meantime, I really, really, really hope that we can value everybody who is around us, even just our own parents, indeed, our own siblings, our own friends. Let's love them while we can. Honestly, truly, like, let's really, really appreciate everybody who's around us. I don't know if if any of this adds up. I honestly hope it does. But I wanted to share on that I, I hope we can be more sensitive to people and everything, and just be kind. Just be kind. And even for ourselves, let us, really appreciate everybody who makes us feel good, everybody who cares for us. It is a privilege to have those people. And if you're one of those people, we are sending hugs to you and we appreciate you for being in our lives. Honestly, truly. And before I end, I also just wanted to say that last year, with everything that I experienced, I know so many people who have experienced loss. 2020 and even 2021 has been so hard for so many people. And I, of course, went through periods where I was just, I, w- I was so sure, and took for granted that, like in my case with my aunt, I just assumed I had like a good 20 or 30 more years to have her in my life. She was someone who was a true cheerleader, and a lot of us have maybe even just a handful of people who we can count who just genuinely want to see us succeed. They would always talk about our futures and what they want us, to just have or get at every milestone that you would hope to accomplish. That they're just certain people that you know or just expect to be there at these milestones. And I know it's been hard for a lot of us who may have lost someone. I know I have had those thoughts. It could be as something as, as simple and materialistic as, buying my first car. I know it was something that we had just like literally a week before she passed away. I saw her and I joked about how, the next time I see her, because she lived in a different country, but she would visit like every 6 months or so. I was like, the next time I see you, I'm going to pick you up. For something as small as that, just thinking back, and like it really broke my heart when the time did come and she wasn't there, to see it. To other things that I knew, granted, maybe I may not have that as a priority of wanting to do that now and everything. But I know she would talk about, what it would be like one day if I ever got married. And sometimes I would have nights and I would think about how, if indeed the day came, like, just realizing that she wouldn't be there to dance at my wedding was really, really heartbreaking. Something else she talked about constantly. I may not, I'd always just laugh along at everything. I didn't take it too seriously. But again, she would always talk about how she would one day, just babysit my kids if I ever had kids. And then realizing, that this amazing person who, I had just bands with, laughed and, lived through life with, if I ever had kids of my own, they were never going to meet her. And it was it was so heartbreaking. And there's so many other milestones that I honestly thought and took for granted and just assumed she would be there. And it was a really, 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 really dark place to be. So much hopelessness. Like I was, I had periods where like I was so done. I was so angry. It didn't make sense. And it's not easy. A year later, when I thought I was in a better place, that was March when I filmed this voiceover. I honestly went back to all these thoughts and everything just, flooded through. But even after I cried, you know, thought about it and everything, I was grateful and happy that at least I saw some positivity. I was slowly beginning to accept what had happened. It's not easy. Like a year later, I, I still hadn't processed it as well as I thought I had. And I don't know, eh? I honestly don't know. Like it doesn't get easy. I don't think the pain ever goes away. But there was a point where I was honestly so angry, so angry, so sad too. But a year later, of course, I'm sad that she isn't here. I honestly would have preferred if we could have had a good laugh, continue to have a whole bunch of good laughs. But it happened, it happened. I'm slowly coming to a place where, I can be at peace with the situation, but I truly, truly miss her. We all do. Everybody in my family does. I know we do. And I just wanted, again, to send virtual hugs to everybody. I know it's so easy to just show the good side. I could have continued to show the good side of everything, Even when I posted the birthday pics, I, I actually don't know, what you're looking at the screen, what you're looking at right now, but I'll try and insert like a couple of pics that I took after, like a good or something of just, hyping myself up and posing and just smiling and everything. Posted that up, just, getting comments of everybody saying happy birthday, DMs. It was really nice. It was uplifting. Some of you have no idea that it was it was a way of cheering me up. Of course, I also sent, like pics to my mom, my friends, just privately, like not even, uh, it was more than, of course, than what I may have shared on my Instagram and the like. And it was so uplifting. But like a part of me, like I just, like I said, unlocked a whole bunch of emotions. I know so many people are going through a lot, and it may not be easy to share all the time. Everybody looks like they're having, a grand time, but I can honestly say that so many of us have gone through a lot. It may not even have been last year or this year. I know 2020 and 2021 has been a lot. It could even be something earlier than that. So much pain. And like I said, I honestly just wanted to send a hug out to anyone who may have lost a loved one. I won't say, it will get easy or one day you'll be over it. Like it doesn't go away. I just wanted, to send a virtual hug. Honestly, truly, that I may not know your story, but I I feel for you, I feel for you. And I honestly hope that during those times, our angels, can just give you a hug or anything. If you're a spiritual person, I know prayer helps a lot. If you may not be, I honestly hope you can find someone in your life who you can talk to. That was so beneficial for me. I know it's hard sometimes to open up, but if you can find someone and positive people, because sometimes you can end up trapped with somebody who could be toxic and would just tell you, things that are just not helpful or comforting. And that's what you need in those times. I honestly hope and pray that you can find people who can be there for you. And if you're someone who has had a hard time, you haven't been able to mourn because of, these societal views of uh, maybe losing someone who isn't a spouse or or a child or a parent. And I know that is so hard, please. I hope I'm not misunderstood in that regard. I know it's really, really hard if that has been the case, and I feel for you. But I also wanted, to just extend, a hug to people who may not be able to express themselves, but are going through so much pain, you know, with having lost someone who was extremely near and dear to them. They had a very deep bond with them, but it's just difficult to express that because nobody understands, and some people tend to be dismissive. So that's all I wanted to share today. Um, do take care, my dear one who may be watching, listening to this. Hugs to you once more. And yes, I will end here. Do take care, and I will see you around. Bye.